Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, dear student, today we are going to talk about timing and duration of ECG wave segment and intervals. We have already discussed in previous chapters different types of wave that are produced in the heart and how they can be drawn on the ECG paper. Now, here is a quick view of different wave. This is P wave, which represent atrial depolarization. Okay, this is a segment which represent the conduction of impulse through the AV node, which give no needle, which in this case needle give no deflection. So here no wave is produced due to heavy node conduction. Another is Q wave, which is due to septal depolarization. Okay, it is in downward direction. So, and after the there is we have R wave, which is due to ventricular depolarization, and then it is a second which is due to side parts of ventricular depolarization, which give negative waves, which is in downward direction. Another part of the this graph is this, which is the horizontal line, and this represent this represent the arrest condition before repolarization, and after this is repolarization, which is represented by T waves. Actually, T wave represent repolarization. Now there are waves, segment, and interval. We must know what are the waves, what are the segment, and what are the interval in this graph. This is wave are already clear as I discussed. Now P wave, Q, R, S, and T. These three waves are collectively called QRS waves. Okay? It is also called QRS complex. Segments. Remember, in order to remember segment, those parts which are horizontally are the segments. So you will not forget it. This is actually called. It should be called PQ segment because it is between P and Q wave. But it is called PR segment because in most cases in most of the cases Q wave is absent, so therefore we call it PR wave, PR segment. Another segment which we have is ST segment. This is the segment which is present between S and T wave. Okay, it's done. Another part of this graph is intervals. Intervals are here the PR interval. It is the interval from the beginning of the P wave and beginning of a Q wave or beginning of QRS complex. This interval is called PR interval. Another interval is QT interval, and it is the interval which is from the beginning of Q waves and the end of T wave. Beginning of Q wave and the end of T wave. Between this duration, this interval, which is called QT interval. So these are waves, segment, and intervals. What is P represent atrial depolarization, and so on. All these I have discussed at the beginning of the chapter lecture. Now here we are going to discuss the different terms which are taken by the interval. It is important to note that 1 minute contain 300 big square. These are big square. 1 minute contain big square in number 300. Okay, and it is a here we are going to write that one big square is equal to 5 small squares. One big square is equal to 5 small square, and 1 minute is equal to 300 big squares. What does it mean? Actually, ECG paper is rolling in this way. Okay, it is moving in forward direction in this way. Okay, so in 1 minute 300 big square passes, mean 300 big square pass in 60 seconds. So here we are going to write 300 bs big square is equal to 60 second. Now one big square will pass in how much second? So Here we divided both sides by 300, so it will become 1 big square is equal to cancel, and it will become 1 and it will be 5, 1 over 5, which is equal to 0.2 second. It means that one big square complete are in 0.2 second. One big square takes 0.2 second. So this is one big square and it takes 0.2 second. As we know that now again, we know that one big square is equal to 5 small square. Now here I calculate that how much time will be taken in order by one small square. As one big square is equal to 0.2 second, one big square is equal to 5 small square, which is equal to 0.2 seconds. Now I am going to find one small square, 1 dividing both sides by 5. Okay, 5. So one small square is equal to, if we calculate this, it will become 0.04 second. It means that one small square, this time, for this small square, this is the time of 0.04 second. It means that this small square pass in 0.04 second in one square. Okay, now I draw this graph in this paper. Now it is important to know that P wave cover 2.5 small square. P wave cover 2.5 small square. Okay, let's we start from here. This is 1, 2 and 2.5, so it will cover 2.5, 1, 2 and 2.5. This is P wave and it cover 2.5 small square. Next is AV node conduction, which also takes 0.2 small square. So this is 0.5, 1.5 and 0.2.5 small square. This is the graph for AV bundle. Okay, after this we have QRS complex, which is also equal to 2.5 small square. So I draw it here. It become 1, it become 2, and this is here 1, about at this direction. Okay, so 1 QRS is equal to 2.5 small square, and so on. We have T waves and so on. Okay, now I am going to calculate the time for P wave, time for QRS. This is QRS, which is equal to 2.5 small square QRS, and this is T wave. Now I am going to draw P wave calculation. Here I am doing P wave calculation. So P wave is equal to 2.5 SS means small square. Now here from this one small square is equal to 0.04 second. So one small square is equal to 0.04 second. If I multiply both sides by 2.5, then we get 2.5 small square is equal to half. If I calculate and multiply this, so it will become 0.1. If I try to directly find it, as one big square is equal to 5 small square and one big square is equal to 0.2 second. So if one big square is divided by 2, then it make 2.5 small square, and and then we will divide 0.2 second and by 2, and which will gain 0.1 second. This is the time for one small square. This is the time for 2.5 small square in case of P wave. So P wave take 0.5 0.1 second. Okay, P wave take 0.1 second. Okay, After this, it will also take 0.1 second because it covered the same number of small square. Now here you can also calculate for QRS as it covered the same number of squares, so it will take the same time, which is equal to 0.1 second. Now here I am going to find the time for PR segment. We are the PR segment which is equal to 2.5. I'm sorry, PR segment. For PR segment, the duration of time is uh, 0.5 because it is also equal to 2.5 small square. And now if I consider PR segment is equal to P wave plus PR interval is equal to P wave plus PR segment. Okay, let this is PR interval. It start from this and in at this at the beginning of Q. So what does it contain? It contain P wave, this, and this is PR segment. So as we know that P wave cover 2.5 small square, which is equal to 0.1 second. Similarly, PR segment also cover 2.5 second, which is also equal to 0.1 second. So we can conclude that PR interval is cover 0.2 second. So this is PR interval which covers 0.2 second. 0.1 0.1 second. I am writing here QRS 0.1 second and so on. Now these are the time duration for different type of wave, for different type of segment. So I discussed all of the things about ECG timing. Approximately I discussed all of the time, all of the problem about the ECG paper. So if you really like my video, please share my and also subscribe my channel. I will be greatly thankful to you. Assalamu alaikum.